Hope you're doing well. Just going to make sure we are live. Do my usual checks. Make sure I'm not talking to myself, because I'm trying to cut down on talking to myself. Oh. Hope you're doing well. Just going to make sure we are... we are live. No swearing. I will tell your mum, if you start swearing, I know your mum really well. We're like that. I got her on speed dial number 2. I'll phone her up and say, they're swearing on stream again, and she'll come down here. She'll come down tonight anyway, but she'll come down here extra early to tell you off, okay? Sorry about that random intro. Yeah, so, can you believe our channel, we've hit 1,500 subscribers. I'm pointing at you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, guys. 1,500. I think we've hit 1,600. So apologies, this video is a little bit late. I was ill last week, so I was going to stream every single day. I was going to do a video every single day last week. But my health got in the way. Luckily, I booked a holiday, so I was ill from a holiday, so I didn't lose any money. So, we have got... So if you're new around here, please consider subscribing. If you stumbled across my little channel by mistake, stick around. You might like it. You probably won't, but you might like it, you know. Every time I hit a milestone, like 1,500, I like to do a thing called Ask Tony, then the number subscriber special. So this one's called Ask Tony 1,500 subscriber special. Okay. And I've got my notes here, okay? Very organised. I've got 9 really good questions. You guys ask the best questions, okay? Yeah, so let's get into it, shall we? So, question number 1. The Angry Moose. What's your favourite book based on a video game? So, I knew the answer to this straight away. But I'll do an honourable mention because it's kind of cheating, I suppose, okay? It is based on video games / movies, pop culture. It's Ready Player One. I've read this book twice, okay? And both times I read it, I know it's not, but it's so good, and it strikes a nerve with me. It hit something in my head. It's like, in a good way. It's almost like this book was written for me. It's just so good. The movie's good as well, but this is totally different but not totally different. It's very much more in detail. It's set over a lot longer time as well. I've actually gone and got the first print hardback as well. That's how much I love this book. Okay, yeah, I feel like it was written for me. I haven't actually read the second one. I'm told, or I hear the second one, Ready Player 2, isn't as good. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed this, okay? If you haven't read this, or watch the movie. If you like the movie, then I would recommend reading the book, you know? But yeah, it's a really, really good book, okay? But my favourite, as soon as I read that question, The Angry Moose... it's quite a recent book I've read as well, is the Mortal Kombat novel. So, Mortal Kombat, a novel by Jeff Rovin, okay? It's a really hard book to find. I don't think they've done a second print or anything. So this book is, I think I had to have it imported from America. So it's only published in Canada and the United States as far as I'm aware, okay? But it's really, really good. It's an easy book to read. It's very well written. Even if you don't like Mortal Kombat, there's a good chance you'd enjoy this book as well. Yeah, so that is my favourite book based on a video game. Okay, I hope that answers your question. What's your favourite book based on a game? I was looking at my books and I was thinking, what other good books are there? It's normally the other way around, isn't it? It's games based on a movie that was based on a book, so it's nice to see it the other way around, you know. So good question, good way to start the stream. Question number 2. Angry Moose. If you accidentally got sucked into a video game, what video game would you want it to be? Oh, loads of times I've nearly accidentally been sucked into a video game. If you didn't know, if you got too close to the telly, you'll get sucked into the game, okay? So I got 2 answers for this, okay? Cringe, get the cringe one out of the way first. So the first game I'd want to be sucked into is Street Fighter 6. So I can take my girl Chun-Li on a date. I know it's cringe, isn't it? But she looks so good in it, doesn't she? That's the best Chun-Li we've got. She's more mature. That's a peak Chun-Li, if you know what I mean, guys. But the other answer, okay, has to be... There's a bit of a problem with the locals in the world, okay? But Ghost of Tsushima. That island, okay, is... for me, paradise. Yes, there's a problem with the locals, the Mongolians, but once we deal with them, that's a beautiful island to live on, isn't it? They've got the beaches, they've got the big waves, so I can get back into surfing. It's paradise. If you haven't played this game, guys, where have you been? What are you doing with your life? It's outstanding. Don't bother with the what's it called? Shiki Island, is it? Iki Island, sorry. I don't recommend. I didn't have a lot of fun with that bit, but the main game, the main island. Problem is, you go to that island, you can't come back until you've completed it. So it's like, don't do it. That's my advice. But yeah, what an amazing world they've created. You know, imagine it was a real place in Japan. Can you imagine there's a real place called Japan? Wow. Yeah. So to answer your question, Street Fighter 6 for the cringe. And Ghost of Tsushima is where I'd like to live. I just imagine taking Rossi for a walk every day, and if there's heaven, I think hopefully that's what it looks like, you know, like with the sakura trees and all that. Oh, it's so good, so good. Right, good questions. Question number 3, Pazzaman 90, PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360? PlayStation 3. I originally had Xbox 360 when they were current gen, but I do remember Xbox 360 came out quite a long time before the PlayStation 3 came out. But then in that 12 months, I had 3 Red Ring of Deaths. So I completely jumped ship. If it wasn't for the Red Ring of Death, my gaming might have completely been totally different. But then Street Fighter 4 was my favourite game that generation, and King of Fighters 13 was my favourite game that generation, and I'm pretty sure they came out on both. I know King of Fighters did. But yeah, I'd say PlayStation 3 is the one I grew up with. Luke R, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing today? Hey, Luke R. All good? All good? How are you? How's your day been? What have you been up to? You gaming today? What was I saying? Yeah, so PS3 or Xbox 360. But the Xbox 360 was so good. I don't think there's many consoles in the history of game consoles that could have survived such a bad thing as the Red Ring of Death, you know. But that's a testament how good the Xbox 360 was. And I gotta be honest, I play my Xbox 360 now, actually, more than I'm playing my PS3 for some bizarre reason, okay? Yeah, it's a tough one. Both really good consoles, but I just think with my nostalgia, I gotta stay with the PlayStation 3 because I couldn't really fault it, you know. Luke, I'm doing great, mate. I'm playing GTA 5 on the PlayStation 5. Great. I still got that installed on my PS5. I need to go back to it. I stream it, you know. Really good, awesome game, isn't it? There was a time where that was in my top 5 games. It's probably a top 10 game for me of all time, you know. Yes, Pazman 90, PS3 or Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. Okay. Question number 4, Pazzaman 90. Mortal Kombat 1 or Grand Blue, in brackets, the new one. So, Mortal Kombat 1 or Grand Blue. So again, I always like to have something in my hand when I'm talking about video games, okay? So it's not actually this game he's talking about. I haven't got it on physical because it didn't come out in this country on physical, okay? But it's Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising is the game he's talking about, or obviously Mortal Kombat 1. Right now, I'm having much more fun with Grand Blue, okay? But if I'm being really, really honest, this, I believe, is a better game, right? Because story mode, this hasn't got a story mode. Oh, it's got the story mode, but it's like comparing a Hollywood AAA movie to a movie I could make, kind of thing. It's that different, okay? This is outstanding. It's one of the best story modes I've ever played. Not just fighting games. On every game I've got, I go over 1,000 games. Okay, and they're all story-driven games, but this is probably one of my favourite, if not my favourite, story modes out of any game I've ever played, okay? And I mean that, okay? So I've done that twice. But then once, other than story mode, there's, obviously you got online, you got towers, and you got invasions, okay? I think invasions is like a last resort. I reckon when they saw how much content Street Fighter 6 had, okay, I think they almost panicked and thought we need to add more content into this game. But I really enjoyed it until my main in this game is Melina, okay? Until I got to level 35, until I maxed out that character, I was almost addicted. I was like, I'll just do an hour every single day, or I'll just go on for an hour. 2-3 hours later, I'm still playing it, but it feels like I'm playing it for an hour. That's a good sign, isn't it? A good testament of how good this game is, okay? But once I maxed out the character at level 35, I tried to find a new main, but then when I go back to, I thought I'll do Katana now, or Johnny Cage. But then when I go back and play as Melina, I just have so much fun. She's by far the best character in this game, okay? So it's almost like I've literally finished the game. I finished with the game. Every time they launch a new season, I do pop on and have a look at the costumes and things you can unlock. And they're terrible. They're trash. They are trash, the costumes and skins they've got in it. It's installed ready for Homelander, basically. He might actually save the game for me. So that's why it's still installed, all right? So, with this game, it's like my goal in this game is I want to level up 2B to level 500. That's extreme. I'm currently level 100. I think I played it yesterday. 117. It's a grind, guys. To get that, to level up in this game, it's a fucking grind, okay? So this is going to keep me entertained for a hell of a long time. Over a year. All right, it's going to take me months, like playing it every single day kind of thing, to get to achieve that. But once I hit that level 500, okay, and you don't know what you unlock. It's a question mark, okay? I got a feeling I know what it is, and it looks pretty cool what you unlock, okay? But once I've done that, I don't know, am I going to have that drive to go back and play this game? It's like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So while I was leveling up Melina in this, I was having more fun in this than I was in this game whilst I'm leveling up 2B to level 500. Does that make sense? So to answer your question, Pazman90, I know it's Pazman, he asks brilliant questions. To answer your question, Pazman90, that is the better game, but I've got what I wanted out of that. I'm still going with this. And of course, this came out later than this. Okay, so that's my favourite, but a very good question. And again, I always put as much thought as I can into these questions, okay? You guys get the old cogs turning. All right, so good question, Pazman90. Question number 5. Pazman90. Oh, that's a good one again. Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter 4? How long have we been going for? I don't want to jibber jabber too long, you know. So I've got my games here. So Obviously, I went for the Mad Gear box, like the deluxe, all singing, all dancing version of that, okay? But I've got all the versions of Street Fighter 4, okay? So any excuse to show off my games. But if I'm doing the best version of Street Fighter 4, so Street Fighter 4 Ultra or Ultra Street Fighter 4, as it says on the side there. But so if I'm comparing the two, as of right now, it's got to be Street Fighter 4 because of the size of the roster. They keep 44 characters in this. However, this game is still just under a year old, okay? So, oh my god, is it 10 days till Akuma? Something, a week and a half and we get Akuma. Now that's a character I'm very interested in checking out. You know, he's probably going to be up there with my main. My main in this is Jury, in case you didn't know. Outstanding character. But it's just more... No, I wouldn't say there's more content because this has got... the Metro City World Tour mode as well in it as well. So that is hours. That's the most hours I've played in any game on my PlayStation 5 other than GTA 5. I got something like 230 odd hours in that game. I'm still under the 100 hours with this, but I still find myself going back to it. I think we did this for last week's Friday Night Fights. Or the week before. I have recently played this. But this has got the potential, definitely, to overtake this. They've done everything right, but it hasn't surpassed this, in my opinion, yet. Okay, so give it, I don't know, 4 years? Because these games always add into these games, aren't they? Like, if you look at all the versions that came out with it, okay? They're off to an absolute belter of a start. Really good, solid start, aren't they? So... as of right now, that's a better game. They're very different art styles, aren't they? This, I still think I do prefer the style of this. Every time I go back to it, I love the soundtrack. This is one of my favourite games of all time. This is up there, mind. It's definitely up there. I think if you asked me the same question in 4 years' time, I'd like to think, and it looks like Capcom are supporting this game now, like Street Fighter 5. It was like a budget release, wasn't it, when it first came out? But what we ended up with, if you compare Street Fighter 5 launch to the Champion Edition with Season 5, everything in there, that was an awesome game. A lot of people just give up on Street Fighter 5, or got into it too early, then quit, and they didn't keep an eye on all the stuff they were adding. So by the time Season 5 came out... Street Fighter 5 is a great game. So if this follows suit, again, you've got World Tour mode, all those mini games and stuff like that. This has got the potential, definitely got the potential to be. It's got the potential to be the favourite game of all time. So they're off to a good start, but they're not there yet. If that answers your question, Tazaman 90. Sorry, just going to keep them in order there. But good question. Question number 6. Pazman 19. Oh, is there a game that you want to get this year that is over £80? No, I don't think there is. And you got me thinking as well, actually. So, there's the Breakers collection, that's $69.99. I'm kicking myself. I should have bought... We just don't know, though. That's... is it Limited Run Games? Or one of those companies are doing it, but you can buy it on Amazon, okay? So it's $69.99. It's only 2 games, the first and second one. I've got the demo. It's awesome. It's so good fun. It's an SNK game, if you didn't know. It's actually not on the cab. I thought it was on the cab, but on my arcade cab, but it's not on there, unfortunately. But the reason I want is 30 quid for the physical, $69.99 for the collector's edition, $15.99, I think, digital. But it did at one point, the day before payday. Can you believe it? The day before payday, it went down to, it was $42.99 all month. So I was waiting to get paid. Went on, I had my credit card ready, and it gone back up to $69.99. Trust me, I'm checking every single day, but it's staying at that $69.99. Joe Gaming Girly, welcome to the stream. Hello you. How are we doing? Oh, did you enjoy? You looked like you enjoyed Killer Instinct on the N64. What an amazing game! I got so much nostalgia for that game, and it was your first time playing it, wasn't it? And that was the first game I ever had on the N60. I'm talking to you down there. You're up there. That was the first game I ever had on the N64. Oh my god, what a great game! And Spinal, he's one of my mains as well. It looks really good on your telly though. I tell you what, that angle you do where you can see you and the TV. It's like as if you're in the room with you kind of thing. Yeah, really, really good video. So yeah, is there a game that you want to get this year that is over 80 quid? So Breakers Collection, I'm holding off because I know when I buy it, it's going to dip down to 42.99. The annoying thing is, though, I didn't say limited deal or anything like that. I just went cheaper. And I really love the soundtrack of that game. The main theme is, well, Killer Instinct, funny enough, is my favourite soundtrack of any video game ever. It's probably my top 5 favourite soundtracks. And that's the more expensive one comes with the CD. I'm old school. I listen to CDs when I'm doing my housework. So that's definitely one I'm waiting to get. But it's under 80 quid. The other game, it's just going so expensive now though. So a game over 80 quid is Godzilla on the PS4. Currently in CX is £230. Now I had that tax rebate. I was like, I was tempted. I'm not paying £230 for that game. It reviewed a 3 out of 10, okay? But it's a Godzilla game for hardcore Godzilla fan. Well, I'm a Godzilla. I got one of my Godzilla t-shirts on now. He's my boy. So I that will be over 80 quid if I ever find it. If it goes down in price again. I know one of my local retro game stores has it in the window for 130, but he's probably looking at CX and he'd be stupid if he hasn't put it up. Or someone's gone in and bought it because now it's gone up by over 100 quid, you know. So yeah, Godzilla on the PS4. And what got me thinking, Pazman 90, okay, so, and you said this, didn't you? So, I bought the Street Fighter 6 Collector's Edition. That was £250, okay? Then I bought the Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition. That was £240. So then Tekken came out. It was like, well, when did 2nd of June Street Fighter Day? It's like Christmas Day for me, wasn't it? So June 2nd, £250. Was it 2 or 3 months later? I can't remember the actual date Mortal Kombat came out, but I bought the Collector's Edition, £240. And then I think Tekken 8 was 260 or 270. And I thought, I can't justify it. But what Pazman 90 said, I remember him saying this, these games only come out once every 5-6 years. But it's just unfortunate. It's great. It was like the golden age of fighting games again, wasn't it? All these big games, AAA fighting games. I'm loving it. All coming out. They nearly came out in the same year. They came out within a year, but they all nearly came out in 2023, didn't they? Because Tekken came out early 2024. But I couldn't, at the time, justify it. But now I'm thinking, it's almost like a dry spell now. We've had all the games. Now it's a bit of a dry spell where the big three, they're not going to launch a new game. Yeah, we've got Garou Mark of the Wolves coming out. That's next year. Yeah, so that's, to answer your question, not a new game, but I haven't written off Tekken 8 Collector's Edition. I haven't written it off, okay? Catch up on the comments. Oh, Access Area 6. How we doing, Access Area 6? Hello, Tony, my friend. Your room is looking very cool. Yes. Thank you, dude. So I got all my stuff on. I looked at my last video I did. I had the arcade cabinet going and the TVs were off. So I thought, get them going, innit? Joe Gaming Girly, I'm okay. Glad you enjoyed the video. Yes, yeah. I'll enjoy your videos. Oh, we are. We're all watching each other's videos. Happy days. Gotta love the UK YouTube community, innit? The retro gamers. Yeah, so that's question number 6. Question number 7. David Hodges. What console would you say is the best for someone to start collecting and why? What console would you say is the best for someone to start collecting and why? I've got 2 consoles, okay? One's a console, one's a handheld, okay? So if someone is brand spanking new to gaming, again, it depends on what they grew up with. Like I love the Master System. Would I love the Master System if I started with the Super Nintendo? If I was a little bit younger, because the Master System was my first console, I've got that nostalgia. Okay, so it does depend on where they're coming from, what age. Do you know what I mean? Like my nephew, who's how old is my nephew? God, he's nearly 13. Oh my God, he's nearly a teenager. If he wanted to get into retro game collecting, I don't think he'd want to look at the Sega Master System, you know. It depends on your age demographic. But if one of my friends they used to go to school with, let's say, said, I would say the PlayStation 3 right now is a really good place to start, okay? Because the games are, there's a lot of what I call triple A games out there, okay? Like, again, Street Fighter 4, King of Fighters 13, then you got GTA. People forget, GTA 5 came out on it. The Last of Us 1 came out on it. There's so many good games. Red Dead Redemption. Mortal Kombat 9 came out on it. There's so much. Deus Ex came out on it, okay? And you can buy... Literally, I did a video, didn't I, with like what could you get for working 1 hour, the minimum wage? How many games, good games, could you get? A lot of them were PS3. So it's a low risk. I know the consoles are a little bit expensive now, but if you can find a Facebook Marketplace, PlayStation 3 on the cheap, you can go into CX and £50 would go a long way. You'd have a nice chunk. That's a couple of years worth of games right there. So you wouldn't have to break the bank, okay? And you're getting good stuff. Like, again, if I'm comparing, I'm not putting the Master System down, but the Master System games, you know, I don't know, a couple of that. Like, I could probably complete Sonic Chaos, hour and a half, probably. Yes, you could replay it, kind of thing. But it's not, you're not going to get, like with a game like Deus Ex, it can take you 30, 40 hours to complete it, do you know what I mean? And you're not, again, they're not expensive. I wouldn't say the Xbox 360 though, because there's so much hype around the Xbox 360 at the moment. It seems loads of people are doing videos on it. Really interesting videos. The Xbox store or something's closing down, so I think that the prices of these, the demand's going to go higher. So it's only a matter of time before the price of these games catches up. Does that make any sense? Okay, let's catch up with the comments. Alright, sorry, I'm having a chat amongst yourselves. The other console then, for very similar reason, is the PlayStation Portable, or the PSP, I would say. Okay, very similar reason is there's so many fantastic games on that console, and a lot of them are very cheap, very, very cheap. It's almost like everyone wants, the cool one to collect was the Vita. Yes, it's a more powerful console, but there's loads of collections on the PSP. Like the Samurai Showdown collection, the King of Fighters, the Orochi Saga. I nearly had it the other day, but CX. There's one in stock in Exeter. And CX, I'll tell you this little story. It's £15 in CX. They're showing one in stock in Exeter, but it must be a reprinted cover, because they said they're unable, I paid for it, and they said they were unable to get it, but CX and Exeter are still showing it. I've learnt if it's a reprinted cover, they don't post it. So that's what I'm assuming it is. But yeah, that game there. So you've got 5 games. They wrote 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, King of Fighters 94 to 98. There's months of gameplay there, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so there's really good collections on that console. There's a lot of games. Like you got the Soul Calibur had an exclusive game. There's there's 2 versions of Tekken on that console. So yeah, that's such a good console. That's what I'm trying to say. And you don't have to break the bank. There are some games that go for quite a lot of money. Samurai Showdown Collection isn't cheap, but they're not as silly as some of the prices on the Vita or the 3DS. I love my Nintendo 3DS, okay? But some of the games are a little bit on the pricey side. Like when I go on holiday now, I think I'm going camping for my birthday, just me and my dog. So I'm going to take all my portables are coming with me. I'll probably play the PSP or the 3DS. But from a collecting point of view, for a newcomer, there's nothing worse, basically. If I said, oh, go for the Vita, they'll buy the Vita, which aren't cheap, and then they'll be put off, I think, by how expensive some of these games, or a lot of these games are, you know. Right, okay, sorry. I don't want to miss a comment if anyone's got a question. That's all. Yeah, so that's answer your question. So I say PS3 and PSP, okay? Question number 8. David Hodges. What would your name be? Oh, yeah. What would your name be if you were cast in Gladiators? And do you know what? When I first read that question, my brain went to the movie Gladiators with Russell Crowe. I thought, oh, yeah, what a good question. He thinks I could be a gladiator in the Russell Crowe movie. And then I remembered, I don't watch TV, do I? None of these TVs. I've got a telly in my living room. I think Access Area 6, you were saying the other day, if you were there, I'm just like you, mate. You just watch YouTube. I watch YouTube, Netflix. I don't watch normal TV because exactly like you said, it's shit, you know what I mean? And you got to pay TV license. It's a cheek, innit, to pay a TV license for that. Anyway, then I realised the Gladiators, they've rebooted it or something, haven't they? I loved Shout Out Gladiators in the 90s. That was an awesome programme. Shout Out Jet and Wolf were my favourites. So, what would my name be if you were cast in the Gladiators? I cheated on this. I went online and I found it. I googled it, and I found the one that I thought suits me, right, is my name would be Inflation. I'm only getting bigger. I'm going to fuck you up. Yeah, so I don't like. I haven't seen the new Gladiators, but I like to say, unless Nintendo Wolf, and he'd come out, he'd do his thing. I'd be Inflation, like just getting bigger or something like that. Yeah, so I would be Inflation. Funny question that is. And the final question, so question number 9, is from my... So the question was from MyB2424. MYB2424. I don't know if there's a way of pronouncing that, but I'm not clever enough to see it. Oh, David Hodges, there you are. Afternoon, just in time for my question. Nice. Joe Game Girlie, it's actually really good, the new Gladiators. Oh, is it really? It's such a... I don't know why it stopped. I mean, it was definitely a product of its time. And I did watch a documentary about the American Gladiators. And I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like John Fashanu, and it was a time to be alive, wasn't it? And I remember being so excited for the finals and stuff like that. I remember actually... I was away. My dad had a band, a brass band. I wasn't interested in it. And we qualified for this like grand finals competition. And it was like for the British champions or something. And it was a weekend away in Pontins. I don't know where in the UK it was, right? But yeah, so we were there, and it was the first time I ever saw Street Fighter 2 in the arcade was that. And I remember being excited for Gladiator. So I didn't care about the band. I just wasn't interested at all. But it was the arcade to play Street Fighter 2 and Gladiator. So yeah, I definitely love the Gladiators. Maybe I'll have to check it out, the new one. Is there anyone called Inflation in it? That might apply. just bring me out. If there's one where, I don't know, if I got to sit on the opponent or something, I'd be alright to that, I think. But if it's anything cardio, I'll have to sit that one out. Right, so the final... If anyone's got any questions as well, just shout them out. We're on to the final question. So it's from MYB2424. Okay. It's a funny one, actually. I didn't... so, I'll read the question. Tell me the love story between you and King. So, King from King of Fighters. Love story. I didn't realise it was a love story. I know I went when I didn't take my medication. I think it was last summer now, actually. I didn't take my medication, and I sometimes see things. And I was going for a walk, because it was me, my dog Rossi, and King was with us. It's so random, I know. I knew she wasn't there, but I was talking to her anyway. Yeah, I need my medication. So, the funny thing with King, right? the first game I ever played with King was Capcom versus SNK 2. That was the first time, right? And if you look at the character design, I 100% thought King was a man. Now, King in Tekken is obviously a man. I know one of my friends' surname is King, but not many people name their kids King, do they? But you'd assume if you're going to name, I'd think you'd name your son King, your daughter Queen. If you wanted those names, okay, that's just me. So I assumed, I don't know, it's not sexist. I just thought, and by the way the character looked, and again, back in those days, the early fighting, like the games running in the background, King of Fighters, the way the characters were drawn and sounding, like some of the characters might be a man and it might sound like a woman. It might have a higher voice, pitched voice. Okay, so it wasn't anything. Oh, I fancy it. It was not. It wasn't that. So I actually thought it was a he. And then for about a year, I didn't know. I thought, oh yeah, he's really good. He's my main king, kind of thing. Again, there's not as much information back then, was there? It's a different world back then, you know. But basically, the reason I like King so much, right, is everything she does, every single move. She's not the easiest character. She's really hard on that, mind. You know, on a fight stick, I'm very comfortable playing as her. On a PlayStation 5 control pad, I'm okay. On that, it's like I'm doing the projectiles, half circle motion and kick. And it's like a 50. It's only I was playing it just now. I was like slowly in practice mode, and it would work one time, then it wouldn't work. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. But everything she does is the best, is the coolest. So like her projectiles, for example. Yeah, Ryu's got projectiles. He's one of my favourite fighting characters. Yeah, so he does the Hadouken. So she does her projectile, but she kicks it. Even her throws, the way all fighting game characters have got a throw, haven't they? But it's the way she does it. It just looks cool, and it's like the only other character that's almost as cool, I don't know another way cool, is 2B from Soul Calibur 6 and guest character, and in fucking Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Sorry, I'm getting tired now. So that's probably is the main reason. She's easy for me to use. It's like I've never read manuals and stuff like that. Not with her anyway. It just everything works. Do you know what I mean? All the moves, the commands, just it feels right. And there's so many characters, and I think it probably took me about 6 months to even discover her, because there's such a big roster. Have you seen how many characters is in Capcom vs SNK 2? So I was playing the Capcom characters first of all, but then it was probably my main was Sagat, Ryu, and Akuma. Then I started, like, I like Raiden, for example. I really liked him in, not Mortal Kombat Raiden. I'm talking, oh, hello. We got a guest. Hello, boy. One sec. Come say hello. I'm going to lick my feet, do you? Right, come up. Look who's here. Look who is here. Got anything to say? You're just going to look like that, do you? Right, cut down then. Good boy. Sorry. We've always got time for Rossi on this channel. Yeah, so in the short answer, okay, is she's just the coolest character, okay? She's not very popular. She's not mainstream. She's not... she's never won Evo. All the characters, all the top game fighters, players rather, sorry. It's not like Akuma now. I guarantee you when Akuma drops in Street Fighter 6, everyone's going to be playing as Akuma. She's not that level, okay? So that appeals to me even more, I suppose, because she's my character, you know? Yes, throws, I got some notes here. So, yeah, the Venom Strike, the projectiles. Basically, it's... Oh, I'll tell you a funny story there as well. Basically, it's the way she does things. she's got, out of all, I've been playing fighting games for years. I've got over 100 fighting games in my collection. She ticks every single box. The best throws I've ever seen. The best projectiles I've ever seen. She's cool. But then when you read her story, I don't know, French, I've lived in France, right? I don't like I'm neutral. I don't dislike them. I don't think they're the coolest people in the world, okay? But I don't know, she's got an alright backstory, like some random fact about her. She collects wine glasses. What the hell, like, do you mean? Why would you want to know that? But I just think it's interesting, you know. Why would someone want to collect? Like, I collect video games. She collects wine glasses because she does own a bar, doesn't she? Yeah, so that is why my love story between King. But the funny thing is, right, what I didn't know, I know now, but at the time, she came from the Fatal Fury. She was Art of Fighting, not Fatal Fury, wasn't she? So in the Art of Fighting, I think they must have thought, because it's a manly name, when she gets knocked out, her top comes undone. It's to say, oh, it's a woman. You can tell. Trust me, you can tell it's a woman. Okay, so when she's on the floor. But I didn't know that, and I think it was King of Fighters 13 it showed it. I knew by then, but it would have been a shock to me if I was suddenly thinking, oh, there's my main, but you can tell it's a woman, the way the sprite's animated anyway. But imagine you think, oh, I'm playing as this guy, so why has this guy got big boobs? Kind of thing. Yeah, so does that answer your question? My MYB 2424. Okay, let's catch up on the comments. Accessory 6, silly question, no silly questions. But are you enjoying a new arcade machine? Oh, right. Yeah, okay, there is some silly questions. I'm loving it. Absolutely. Stop that. I'm loving it. Couple of things, a couple of negatives with it. I'm being really picky now, though. I didn't realise how heavy-handed I can be. So, well, one, I can't stand up and play it. You've got to sit down, but I've got the stool with it. I went for that option. But it's, because it's on a carpet, it's more, only slightly. But if I'm playing two-player, you've got to stand really close as well. But if it's two of you playing and, you know, mashing or something, it might get a bit of movement. It might be going like this kind of thing. But it's so good. It's so good. It's like a bucket list item that like if I won the lottery, like I had that tax rebate, didn't I? It's not something. It's not like I was saving up for it. It was like a treat. I knew one day I'd have one, you know. But it's definitely the right choice because there's 50 games on it, and it's by far the best value. It's not very good if you like if you don't like your fighting games. Like I watched a review with, everyone's heard of it, Metal Jesus Rocks. He got sent one, like a review one, and he doesn't like his fighting game, so he wasn't that fussed on it, you know. But me, it's the perfect. I think it's over nearly all of them. I think it's about 40 of the games, or 40 plus of those games are fighting games, okay? So it's definitely worth it. Thinking again when you. Let's have a look. Back in the day, what's your favourite Soul Calibur character? Oh, good question. Other than 2B, I know she's a guest character. That's cheating, isn't it? Probably Mitsurugi. Or Taki. Probably Mitsurugi is probably my favourite. I'm partial for a samurai, you know. That's a good question. You got me thinking now. Nightmare. No. Maxi. I need to play those games more. Soul Calibur 6. What an underrated game that is. I'd love it. Hopefully that's what they're working on now. So they got Tekken 8 out the way. They should keep people working on the DLC side and put the rest of the team to work on Soul Calibur 7. That's my dream. No, there'll be a collector's edition I'll be getting. Yeah, probably Mitsurugi. Yeah, he's really good fun. Angry Moose, what's happening, Angry Moose? Thanks for stopping on by. Hello there. Your games room looks pretty awesome. Thanks, dudes. That cabinet looks amazing. And hello, Rossi. Rossi, someone's saying hello to you. The Angry Moose. He says hello back in dog language. Hello, beautiful Rossi. Access Area 6 says you're beautiful. Oh, yeah. He's smiling down here. He's loving life. We definitely need another Soul Calibur. Oh, my God, yeah. My favourite thing with Soul Calibur, or one of my favourite things, is the guest characters. And they're so random, aren't they? But if you said my favourite guest characters, so 2B by a mile, then probably Spawn in Soul Calibur 2. I like Yoda, I do as well. Yoda in, what was he in Soul Calibur 4, isn't it? What a great series. What a great series. Any other questions, guys? How long have we been going? Oh, 45 minutes. I thought I was only talking for like 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's all the questions I've had sent in. I do apologise why it took so long. Yes, Rossi? Yeah, I think we're going to go camping on my birthday. My birthday's July, and I got a week off. I don't know, Rossi, it'd be just me and him in a tent. I think he'd love it. Yes, I think he would. There's this place not far from us. It's got like, it's ideal for camping. It's got the woods, and it's a massive beach. It goes for miles. A place called Pembury. So I think I'll get someone to drop me off with a tent and all that. Yeah, and check it out. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee. Yeah, touch down then. Touch down. Yeah, ask any questions, guys. Anybody? Anybody alive out there? Yeah, those arcade cabinets though, like I think the 1UP arcade cabs have no more than 12 games on them, do they? So there is a way you can upgrade them, or they're thinking about it though. That's why they come with 6 buttons, not the 4 Neo Geo buttons. But like 2 of the buttons are white, so they don't do anything at the moment. So they're obviously forward thinking. But it'd be nice to add like some Capcom games on there as well, wouldn't it? Now that'd be the perfect arcade cab, that would. The screen's really good on it as well. When it came with like, there's like, you got to peel the thing off the screen. The first time I ever started playing with it, I left that on. It looked good with that. But then just before I went live, when I was doing my pickups video, I peeled it off and literally moved it, and I thought I blew a fuse in it or something like that. Yeah, my advice is they don't like to be moved when they're powered on. So just the buttons on that, turn it off, then move it, and then turn it back on. Access Area 6. When was the last time you went camping? Years ago. Well, technically, almost a year this weekend, but that's Static Caravan. My brother, bit of a negative one. No, my brother always pays for us all to go. Like, he paid for us all to go out to watch the football on the weekend. He likes everything to be perfect, and he's got a lot of money. He got a big payout from his last year. I won't go into it, but he had a big payout. And when my father passed away, he'd already owned a house, but I didn't, so I put money to buy my house. So he's got a lot of savings, and his wife's a school teacher, so they're doing all right for money. But they like to spend it as well, okay? Treat us. And spoil us, rather. So I've done static caravans, but I don't go away. I don't want to go into it, but yeah, it's my decision. I'm invited, but I don't go, okay? But I grew up, we had a caravan, a touring caravan, and a lot, not mainly, but one of the main reasons we had the caravan was to... we were swimming away a lot. Bonkers to think about. You can't, but like my mum and dad sleep in the caravan. Me and my brother would sleep in a tent. So we'd be, I don't know, like swimming down round West Wales, swimming Devon way, south of England, And turning up to these competitions at like 2 hours sleep, we'd be exhausted before we even dive in the pool, you know. So we were like swimming on hard mode, and it was bonkers. Like my brother he would swim in the Commonwealth Games. My brother did, both senior international swimmers, but everything was really hard because. And I tell you what, every year in the summer holidays, it had nothing to do with swimming. So swimming was shut down for a month of August, okay? So we go away in the caravan. A lot of the time down Devon way, we were into our surfing and bodyboarding, down on like all the surfing beaches. And I tell you what, when you go from living 2 weeks with your mum and dad, our dog at the time, and your brother in a tent, a caravan, and yeah, we had one of those awnings, that side tent things, right? It gets very stuffy, claustrophobic. And do you know when you go home, your bedroom feels ginormous because you've been living for 2 weeks in a room about the size of my games room, a room about the size of a normal bedroom. And then when you come back to your house feels like a castle. Now we had a 3-bedroom, it wasn't a special house, but it was all right size. But it was just, oh, look at all this freedom. I can go in my own room and have I missed my stuff. Do you know what I mean? It was crazy. But yeah, I grew up camping. My mum still is actually. She was like a district commissioner with the Scouts. So she's a Scout leader now, or I think she's running a couple of things. She's heavily involved. So she knows the tents, she knows all the tricks. She can even cook a cake. My mum won a competition once. She cooked a cake on a fire. Out in the wild, they said, oh, it's impossible. There's only some things you can cook. And there was a competition, and my mum said, I'm going to bake a cake. And they said, impossible. So my mum won the competition. She made a lovely cake, apparently, when she was a kid. So yeah, we kind of grew up with camping, you know. But I haven't been with Rossi. But like in a starter caravan, it's kind of, they're quite luxury now, aren't they? They're not roughing it. Like the last caravans we had balconies and everything. The dogs absolutely love it. Especially Ross. He wants to sleep in my room. Then halfway through the night then he decides he wants to sleep in my mum's room. Then about 2 hours later he decides he wants to come back in my room. It's like musical beds it is, do you know what I mean? But yeah, we did have a nice time doing it. But yeah, I can't actually remember the last time we were probably with my mates. Yeah, with my mates camping. I tell you, another random story then. If anyone's still there. I was few of you there. I had 2 mates knocked on my door, totally random. They were on their way on holidays, and they knew I had a couple of wetsuits. So one of them wanted to borrow one of my wetsuits, and they were on their way to Newquay. Okay, so I live in West Wales, so miles away. Okay, so it was a random knock on the door. This is years ago now. Still here listening. Okay, I'll keep going. Yeah, knock on the door. I was about 18, 19. And who's that? No idea. But again, it's before mobile phones and stuff like that, okay? So I was kind of the start of mobile phones. Only a few, not everyone had one like now. So, knock on the door. Oh, hi Tony, can we borrow one of your wetsuits? Oh, where you going? I thought they were just going down the beach. And I knew there was no waves, because we used to check. Who remembers teletext? We used to check the teletext. We used to give you like a surf report. Rossi, stop that. So, I knew it was flat. There was no waves, right? Knock on the door. Can we borrow your wetsuit? Where are you going then? Oh, we're going to Cornwall, fancy it? I thought they were going in a couple of days or the next day. I said, yeah, go on. And when you going? Oh, we're going now. Like, we're literally on the way. Our bags are in the car. I went, I'm not doing anything this week. So, I think they were going for 4 nights, okay? So then I said, yeah, okay. 2 minutes, all it takes. Chuck a couple of bits of clothes in. Borrowed my brother's tent. Then my brother was in uni or something, so he obviously couldn't come. And then went literally like that. We were going. Bodyboards in the back. Great. Okay, where are we off to? Right, we're going to Newquay. Right, cool. So we went to Newquay and we paid the first night. And they give you like a pitch, don't they, if you've been camping. Go and pay. And it was like, yeah, there's no gap. It was like a tent year and a tent year. and the pitch they gave us was in between these two tents. So basically, they were ramming us in. It was like an 18 to 30 campsite kind of thing. I've never experienced it. I guess I've been on 18 to 30 holidays abroad in hotels, but not a campsite one. And we liked to have a drink and stuff back then, but it was too much. I think there were more closer to 30-year-olds there and stuff like that. And a few of them they had a bit of an issue with the fact that we were Welsh. And I wasn't backing down. And it could have turned nasty. So I thought, right, guys, let's get to a phone. I'll phone my auntie. She used to be like a CEO with Haven, like the top person. And her campsite where she lived was, where was it? In Exmouth, which wasn't that far away. So I said, if I phone my auntie, we might be able to put a tent in her garden, right? So just so we got another Rossi, stop it. Just so we got another 2 days of our little holiday. We're still in that kind of area. So I phoned my auntie. I just phoned my gran, who was staying there. Sorry, my great gran. Oh, it'd be lovely to see you and all this. So I went up there. And I said, and I told one of the boys was a really good friend, but one of them was like, I don't know if I'd class him as a friend. Like, he was so into his swimming, he used to take steroids, but didn't help him. He was not a very good swimmer, but he used to try and cheat. But he didn't have the talent, put it that way. So he had a bit of a chip on his shoulder, but he was all right. But I don't know if I could trust him 100% kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So we went to my auntie's, and I was saying, I'm bigging her up. Yeah, she's in charge of the whole of Haven and everything like that. So we were allowed to camp. The plan was we were going to camp in her garden, massive garden she had, right? And her house was on site, like on the actual campsite. It's the biggest campsite, Haven campsite at the time in the UK, okay? That's why she was based there. So she was in work. We got there, I was looking on the garden, and my gran said, no, she's got you a caravan. We were like, I can't afford the caravan. No, free. What, she got us a caravan for free? He goes, yeah. She wants you to go down and see her in the office. Oh, is the office in the same place? Yeah. Go down there. Right. Her name was Joan, or Joni, right? We used to call her, right? But her name was Joan. So we went down there, and again, one of my mates was like, "Wow, it's amazing! You got a caravan for free." And my other mate was, whatever. So then I don't think he realised. He thought I was lying or something. He didn't believe how high up my auntie was. Again, there was no one above her base, the shareholders, owners of the company, right? So we went down there, and I thought, there's reception. So I went to reception, and I said, hi there. I'm here to see Joan. And the woman said, Joan? Joni? And she said, Joan Thomas? She goes, no. She was like, look at me. I had like a basketball vest on, shorts and flip-flops, innit? I'm on holiday. So, and my mate, one of the boys, I won't name him, but one of the boys, like, see, told you. And I was like, told you what, kind of thing. So it was quite embarrassing. So I'm saying she's this big in charge, and the receptionist has never heard of her. So I was like, I said, what, there's nobody working here called Joan Thomas? She goes, no. I said, really sorry. So I was going to phone my gran to say, look, what's going on? So on the way to the phone, there was like a board with all these people in suits, and right at the top was a picture of my auntie. She's my mum's auntie, but I call her my auntie, right? So I said, sorry, reception, that Joan Thomas. And she shit herself, right? She said, Mrs. Thomas. She didn't know her first name. So basically, she comes out like that. Hi, right? Yeah. And then my mate was like, egg on his face kind of thing. And she said, right, here's a key for the caravan. She pulled me to one side and she says, keep an eye on your mates now. This is like the best caravan we offer, blah, blah, blah. Like short notice. This was like August time, right? So they peak, and she managed to get us like the top caravan that they sell, that they rent out. But she got us one somehow for 2 nights. Oh, thank you. She goes, right, okay, it's on the map, showed us where it is. Best view in the park, balconies all the way around it and everything. I was like, really posh, okay? It's almost like you're not staying in a caravan. So we went in the caravan. They were bedroom each, great. There was a spare bedroom, great. And we bumped into, so we went to the swimming pool, we went to the beach, this, that, and the other, right, okay. And, well, so she said, like, look after the caravan, keep an eye on your mates. This is on me. I'm responsible. I'm the responsible. I was a bit younger than the other boys as well, in my defence. So I was drinking back in. I was a bit thing when I'd had a couple of pints. The second night, we bumped into two girls we kind of knew from swimming. They happened to be on holiday in the same park, right? And so maybe I was drinking a bit more than perhaps I would have. And then it's a bit of a blur then. I remember we went skinny dipping. I got kicked off the beach. Security, I thought, well, it says no skinny dipping. So I'm running down the beach, butt naked. There's loads of people there. Obviously, it was the middle of the night. But I thought, well, it's dark. Next thing, there's a spotlight, not like the Batman fucking sign light. Like on me. Hey, you, get out. I was like butt naked. I didn't know where I threw my clothes and stuff, right? I bet that shut your mate up a lot. Yeah, yeah, definitely did. He's my brother's mate more than my mate, I suppose. That's why we weren't that close. Yeah, so but it was a crazy night, right? Really crazy. It was the last night there. And I remember then we were back in the caravan. It was the three of us and the two girls. And all I can remember, right, was I had the fire extinguisher in my hand, but I was holding it. It was one of those foam ones. I was holding it like a gun. I was only pretending. I remember one of the boys, the tidier one, said, Tony, don't. And next thing, I just pulled the thing and foam was going everywhere. I emptied this fire extinguisher all over the caravan. It was like a foam party in there, right? Oh my God, right? So I'm supposed to be the one looking after this fucking caravan, aren't I? So the next morning, waking up, and in each room, this small bed, there was two beds. I was in one bed, and the fire extinguisher was in the other bed. I woke up thinking, I was hoping that was a dream. You know what it's like when you think, I can't believe what I did last night. I remember going out, but all the foam had gone, but everything was really sticky. You know, like in the cinema, the carpet is really sticky. But I was barefoot, like sticking to like the laminate flooring, like, fuck. And the fire extinguisher was empty, and I was thinking, I didn't know what to do. I thought, my auntie's going to kill me. She is going to go apeshit, right? Sorry if she ever watches this. She doesn't know. I think she did know, because they got to do checks to know, like, once you check out, they got like a safety thing. I'm pretty sure they got to check the fire extinguishers, and I hope they do anyway. So I just put the fire extinguisher back. We cleaned it best we could, but there was no cleaning. I think a lot of stuff in that living room area probably needed to be replaced. You know what I mean? So, to answer your question, it's been a long time since I've been camping. Maybe I've gone, I can't remember. It's been a long whole time since I've been in a tent camping. Does caravanning count though? With a tent though, see, if it's raining, it's quite a shit time, isn't it? But if it's nice, like when I'm thinking of going away in July on my birthday, it's normally nicer on my birthday. So we'll be out in the woods. We'll be out. Rossi's going to have an absolute amazing time, you know. We'll be on the beach. I think it's a dog beach as well. Like with someone on Facebook, basically, she's just been away for a couple of days in this park, and I thought, great idea. So I think I'm going to have a look at that for my birthday, you know. But that would be proper camping, you know. I probably won't do the barbecue stuff. I'll give myself food poisoning. I'll just take prepared meals or some sandwiches or something easy to do, you know, and dog food, obviously for Rossi. There we are, guys. If there's any other questions, yeah, we've been going for, it says, just over an hour. Yeah, but thank you very much, guys. 1,500 subscribers. Well, we've passed that now already, because it's my fault, because I've been so late with it. But I'll say only 2 weeks, I want to say. Unless anyone's got any other questions, ask me about, well, not too personal. Do you know what I was thinking as well, random one, before we all go? Do you know, Joe Gaming Early, thanks for that. You're welcome. Have you all watched that baby reindeer program, right? It only dawned on me the other day. So I've watched it, And then there was the Piers Morgan interview with the woman, right? Everyone's focusing on the woman, aren't they? Right, spoiler now if anyone hasn't seen it. But the thing I found the hardest to watch, obviously, is the R-word scene where that man grooms him kind of thing. But the problem I've got now, right, with the actual comedian, the actor who's the writer and it's based on his story, he said now he doesn't want to name and shame any other people. So he's saying leave everyone alone. If you think it's this person, just leave him alone kind of thing. So the stalker woman's obviously got problems, okay? But the man is a R-wordist, isn't he? He is. So he's done it to him. So how dare that comedian guy let him get away with it? Let him get away with it to do it to someone else kind of thing? He should be focusing. Someone did that to me or anyone I know. There's two ways you could deal with it, but I'd like to, the correct way I would say to deal with it is to let the police deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, there might not be evidence, but I would name and shame. I would say it's that person there and he can't get away with it. He did it to me. He's probably done it to other people. Because he was a producer, high up, he was taking advantage of his position, wasn't he? His position of authority or whatever. So it's just something I just wanted to get off my chest. It's like, what a dickhead. He should be saying who it is so to protect someone else, the next victim, do you know what I mean? Because it's disgusting what he's doing to people. That's my take on it. Have you seen Baby Reindeer? I was fascinated by it, I was. But it's like, because it's real, it's ongoing now, and he says this. He doesn't say it's based on a true story. It says this is a true story. So it's not like events. I don't know if that woman. I think she has. Her nephew's come out and said she has been to jail, because on the interview she said no, I haven't been to jail. But apparently family members come out and said yeah, she's been to jail. So it probably is that woman. That's probably right. So I don't believe a word she says. But I'm like, hang on, mate. Like, the public are focusing on the woman, not the monster. Do you know what I mean? The man. That's what I think. That's my take on it. Right, I think there's no more questions coming through, guys. Thank you very much for stopping on by. I really enjoyed that. I hope I answered your questions. Well, I answered them the best I could. What time are we looking? Oh, I'm late. I got to take my my medication. Acceria 6. Like the BBC protected Jimmy Savile. Kind of. There's people. I don't know if he probably does work for the BBC, let's be honest. I mean, that's one of the reasons, like you, I won't play for a TV licence. I know they put adverts on there now as well, don't they? It's like, hang on, you double dip in here, so we're paying for it. They want us to pay for it. Even if we don't watch it, and they put in adverts and stuff on there, you know. Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want my money. Pay tax. Well, I paid... What paid for that? Arcade Cabinet. I had to pay tax on my tax. Can you believe that? I had deduction, a fee I had to pay for a tax rebate, and then £100 tax on the tax. What kind of country are we living in? Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm up. I got a new arcade cabinet, and I'm still quids in, you know. I actually went to the bank today after work, so I had to cash it in or whatever, you know. Yeah, but something dodgy. It's funny how the UK is. It's funny how we're focusing on the lesser crime. Yeah, it can't be nice to be stalked, and if it's as fucked up as what he said, but it's like, I think he almost egged her on a bit. I think he does say that, though. He's very truthful. If he predicts it, like he's very truthful, you know. He doesn't paint himself in a very good light, but he is, if he likes it or not, he is protecting that man, that producer guy. He's protecting him because he's saying, don't go after the people you might think it is. Just leave them alone. I'm like, no, dude, that person, he's probably thinking shit. He's probably thinking, shit, this is a close call here now. I'd like to think justice will catch up with him, but he's free to do it to other people. Do you know what I mean? And if he's got power, if other people start coming forward and saying, I think it was this person because he did it to me, it might affect their career. Do you know what I mean? That's the way the world works, unfortunately. Right, what a good game that is, by the way. Dead or Alive 4. Right, guys, we are going to go. Thank you very much for stopping on by. Always enjoy my live streams. Yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks for stopping on by. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.